Okay, so for these are two of the questions on the quiz that people missed. That's question number 4 and question number 5. There are the solutions. Let me turn off the lights. I can't stand the bright light anyway. Okay, so yeah, that shows up better. So those are the solutions to that. Now let's look at the word problems. We did pretty good, but there's still a little work we need to do. Okay, so let me go back to the top of the page. Y'all see why I like to do them on the computer now, because I can just do that report. Normally I have to do that by hand, but I can just pull that report real quick. By question, make sure it's by question. Yeah, because I don't want to put anybody's score. So you see, we didn't really have mastery except for the one step. So we're going to go through the 2 step, and still that second one step, that was just barely above mastery. So let's look at that one. Okay, it says Carla beat the school. Let me get out of the thing so I can focus. It's time for the mass break. Okay. All right, we're going to take our mass break and we'll be back in just a second. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so this problem says Carla beat the school record for the 400-meter run by 1.3 seconds. If she ran the race in 55.7 seconds, what was the record? So evidently the record had to be more seconds than she ran it in. So you could write the equation or quick way, like I'm sure he did. Add 5, 6, 7. So most of you got it, but if you wanted to do like this, you're going to let the previous record equal P. And so the previous record minus 1.3 seconds equals 55.7. Okay? And then you add 1.3 to both sides, and you get the previous record is equal to 57 seconds. Some of you got something that was smaller, but think about it logically. I know some play sports, some don't, but just think about it logically. If you beat a previous record, that means you were faster. That means the previous record had to be more seconds. Okay? Now, let's look at the next one. I'm gonna look. Y'all see I'm trying to do this and operate that. Okay. My mouse disappeared. So let's look at the previous one. Is the mouse moving? Is it anywhere? Mouse. Oh, this is on here. That's why it's not moving. Okay. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay, so back to all the questions. The next one, and I'm doing this by question and not by student because I don't ever want to embarrass anybody. This one. And a lot of you did the perimeter of a square. That's how you missed it. You did the perimeter. But the area of a square is not going to write if I don't put this thing. Okay. So the area, and we did one like this, y'all remember? The area of a square equals side squared. So the area is 225, and that's equal to the side squared. So the opposite of squared is what? We said it Friday. Square root. So I'm going to take the positive square root from both sides because we're talking about a length. Y'all know square root has two answers. It could be positive or negative, but the one that makes sense for this, since we're dealing with length, would be the positive. So we're going to take the positive square root. Square root of 225, you can do it on your calculator, is 15. Square root of s squared is s. So the length of a side was 15. What most of you did, not most, what about half of you did, 225 equals 4s, and you divided both sides by 4. That's perimeter. We want area. So make sure you keep up with the correct formula. I do not need to do anything here. I need to do something here. Okay. Does that make more sense? Okay, let's look at, so that about half the class got that one. And the ones who got it wrong, I saw exactly what you did. You did perimeter instead of area. So you'll just remember that, right? Okay. This was close to mastery, so 60% of the class got it. I couldn't figure out, all the wrong answers were the same. It was 400, but I couldn't figure out how you got 400. Usually I can figure out what went wrong. Okay, 4/5 of the senior class went to the prom. If 324 students went to the prom, how many are there in the senior class? So we're going to let the marker show up. So we're going to let S equal the senior, S equal the students. What am I doing now? Okay, so let S equal the number of students in the senior class. So when I set up my equation, 4/5 of the total number of students equals to 324, because it tells us that 4/5 went to the prom, and then that 4/5 of your entire class was 324. So we're going to solve for S by multiplying both sides by the reciprocal, 5/4. Did anybody figure out what this was? This is 81, right? So 81 times 5, 5 times 1 is 5, 8 times 5 is 40. I can't figure out what went wrong there. Maybe you did 4/5. Let's see. No, because 5 wouldn't have gone into that. Okay, so 405. I don't know, maybe it was something with the reciprocal or something. I don't know what went wrong there. But we're going to multiply the total by 4/5. So that was a one-stepper, but it involved a fraction. So we're going to work on that some more. And let's look at the other ones. Yeah, we got about 60-something% on this too. So that's still more got it right than wrong, but I still want everybody to get it right. I got some interesting answers. Somebody had one that was just one number off, and I couldn't figure out what happened unless it was a mathematical error. But if we had done it on paper, I would have been able to see the error. So the sum of two numbers is 146. Okay, it's going to come up. So the sum of two numbers is 146. The larger number is 16 less than 5 times the smaller number. Okay, so we're going to let the small number equal x. So the large would be 16 less, so I'm subtracting 16, than 5 times the smaller number, and the smaller number is x. So 16 less, subtract 16 from 5 times the smaller number. Then there's some, I think I see what you did. So the sum is x plus 5x minus 16 equals 146. So that's how your equation should be set up. And you know, to check it, you could have added your numbers together to see if you got 146. That'd have been a quick way to check it. So x plus 5x is 6x minus 16 equals 146. Let's add 16 to each side. 6x equals 6 and 6 is 12, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute, is that right? Plus 16 plus 16. 6 and 6 is 12. 4, 5, 6. Okay. And so x is equal to 1 6. Gonna divide both sides by 6. 6 times 3, 6 times 2, 12. 42. 6 times 7 is. So x is equal to 27. Okay? So x would be 27. That's one of my numbers. My other number would be 5 times 27 minus 16, and I think that was let's see. $119. Okay, so my numbers were 27 and 119. But if you had put 119 and 27, which is still the right answer, I put them in both ways so it wouldn't count it wrong if you put your numbers backwards. Any questions about that one? So we see how to set that up now. Read them out to yourself to make sure you're understanding. If you have to read it out loud, that's fine, because math talking doesn't bother me. It's just extraneous talking that bothers me. I'm for real, somebody can be talking about math and they can have 20 different conversations going on about math and I'm fine. But as soon as they start talking about something random, my brain just goes in another direction. And I didn't work this one. Okay, the Giants scored 14 less than 3 times the number of points than the Cowboys scored in their, scored in their last game. Altogether, they scored 46 points. How many points did the Cowboys score? Okay, so we want to know the Cowboys, so we'll let the Cowboy, let's see equal Cowboy score. Okay, so the Giants, their score is 14 less, so we'll subtract 14, then 3 times the number of points that the Cowboys scored, that score. Okay, altogether they scored 46 points. So C plus 3C minus 14 equals 46. And this is 4C minus 14 equals 46. Then I'm going to add 14 to each side. Let's do it again. Okay, so it was 3C minus 14. C plus 3C minus 14 equals 46. So this is 4C minus 14 equals 46. Add 14 to each side. And 4C equals, did I do that right? Was it 46? Yeah. 6 and 4 is 10. 4, 5, 6. Divide both sides by 4. And the Cowboys scored 15 points. And you don't really have to substitute it back in to find out what the Giants scored. You can just subtract it from 46. So 46 minus 15 would be what the Giants scored. Okay, this is to the people at home. Next, you're going to see a video with word problems that I posted. It's a whole folder. And there's a guided notes that goes with that. Also, the 2 practice things that I put up are due Friday. So I need those submitted by Friday. You don't have to rush and do those today. The test is Friday. It will be online. So make sure you catch up with your work so you can do that on time. And I will see you all later. Okay.